Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a really quick video today. I've been kind of doing a lot of creating and a lot of fun artistic stuff this afternoon and this morning, and so I'm sorry that this video is so late. Usually I try to get it earlier in the day. But last week was a really big week for me. It was the second week of my Get Your Plan On beta course, which was a course about how to get through the first two steps of event planning, which is venue selection and ticket price. And then you can launch your event. And so it was so much fun, but it took a lot out of me. It took a lot of content creation, it took a lot of speaking, and so I'm doing this video totally off the cuff, and wanted to bring up just one of the points that we had talked about in the Get Your Plan On session. And that is creating a really strong and really structured agenda. And while I won't go into detail about how to do that yet, maybe in a future video, or maybe if you sign up for my course, I did want to talk about why this is super duper important, especially not only during your event, but also beforehand when you're launching your event, and then also after the event, why it's super important to have a really detailed schedule. So there are three reasons. The first reason is that people, when they're attending an event, when they're signing up for an event, they need to have as few barriers as possible. Because think about it, it's already really uncomfortable for them to go meet with people they don't even know and have maybe never met. It's uncomfortable for them to possibly meet you if they've never met you and they like your work and they're a fan of yours. Maybe they've never been to the event space. So a lot of the stuff is unfamiliar, and that can build up a lot of tension and a lot of resistance in people, so much so that they don't feel comfortable signing up. And so one of the ways to break down those barriers of the unknown is to offer a really good detailed schedule. It doesn't have to be final, but something that will break down the barrier of people not knowing what they're getting themselves into. And so they'll know, okay, there's going to be breakfast served, and I'm going to have 2 hours doing a small group, and I'm going to have to present on myself. So you can just kind of get people used to the idea of what they're going to be working on, what they're going to be learning, and then also what the day is going to look like. So that's reason number one why it's super duper important. Reason number two why it's super duper important is for you as the planner, as the host. You can put a lot of thought into your schedule, but sometimes on the day of the event, it doesn't always run that way. And so if you've only built in, for example, 30 minutes for questions, and you realize questions take an hour and a half, you're going to have to do some shuffling. And if you have a prepared schedule, you might be able to shift things around and see where there are holes that you might be able to fill with other content that maybe you didn't get to. And so it's really important to have an agenda because it keeps you on track as the host and the organizer and the planner. And then the third reason it's really super important to have an agenda is so if things go wrong, you at least have your agenda, your schedule to hold on to. The nature of events is that we plan them, we have an idea of what they're going to look like going into it, and then something doesn't go according to plan. Every single event I've ever done, without fail, something doesn't go according to how I've envisioned it in my head. But one thing that keeps the pressure off of me as a host, as an organizer, as a speaker, is having that really solid agenda, so that if things are coming at me from all directions, I can look at my schedule and be like, okay, it's 5:30 and this needs to happen, and I can delegate that to someone while I deal with a crisis. So that's the final reason why it's super important to have an agenda. If you have questions about setting your agenda, if you have questions about outlining an agenda, just let me know. I'm happy to do a future blog post or a future video about it. But I just wanted to bring that up today. Happy creating, happy Monday, and I'll talk to you all soon.